Hey, RetconRaider here, with special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Revenant, Alois, Anerdinwarpaint, Dragon Matrix 7, Eerie V23, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, as we continue poking at the Crinukhs and crannies immediately surrounding Drezen. It has been nice actually getting out here to stretch our legs a bit after the absolute deluge of setup dialogue for Act 3. But, you know, we've already got like 10 additional events backlogged in Drezen, so we'll have to get back there soon. That said, let's see how our favorite kobold bard is doing. At least within this universe. There's an odd proliferation of kobold bards throughout the multiverse. Not a combination I ever really would have come up with myself, but here we are. Crinukh, you old sack of scales, you're still alive. That's great. Don't mind me, just preparing for the worst real quick. There we go. How's it going, buddy? Kaz is very excited to see you. Crinukh's expression brightens as he notices you. How's your applied philosophy? Would you mind discussing an ethical dilemma with me? I grow quite tired of debating only myself. Yeah, sure, why not? Then listen well. Imagine that there is a person, and you know that he is very, very wrong. For instance, he believes that people enjoy being gutted alive. Don't ask me how he came to this conclusion, he's just odd like that. But he is absolutely convinced that they love it. So, from time to time, he guts people, just because, you know, he's just such a nice fellow. He doesn't do it because he likes it, he just loves doing good for others. So this odd, obviously made-up individual, is he a villain or is he a good lad? Does he deserve to be executed as a criminal or rewarded for his heart of gold? Gotta say, Crinukh, this sounds like a pretty loaded anecdote. You sure there's not more to this? You're not sending me searching for something? Who, me? Of course not. Oh, well, good then. I guess my suspicions are sufficiently allayed, thank you. I guess in this incredibly improbable hypothetical, I would, discuss it with him? Probably at knife point. But I mean, yeah, maybe there is something to what he's doing. Stranger things have certainly happened. The kobold giggles, obviously pleased. Right, what if it's not him being an idiot? What if people actually love getting gutted? And you are the only one who doesn't know. And then, somewhere in polite society, you accidentally blurt out that people shouldn't be gutted, and they will forever brand you as a prudish and uncultured person. But you are right, if you encounter something incomprehensible. First, figure out what's going on, and only then act. It seems like a platitude, but most people only learn this lesson right before their death. The kobold falls into a pensive silence for a few moments, then lets out a gasp. Looking sheepish, he says, You got me talking, and I almost forgot something important. You'll want to see this. Crinukh shows you a pile of opened letters. Judging by the handwriting and the quality of the paper, the correspondence was between several people, all of them quite well-to-do. These notes were written by very foolish folk, who decided that there's more to be gained by befriending demons than fighting them. This is just a fraction of their correspondence. They sit in their manors in Nerosian, preoccupied every single day with one and only one thought: how else they can hurt your crusade. They spread rumors about you. They try to block your army's supply chains. They whisper nasty things about you in the Queen's ear. But despite all their influence, they are just amateur conspirators who know nothing about real intrigue. Interesting. I'll make sure that these letters fall into your associates' hands. Anonymously, of course. I'm not looking for fame. If you order your advisors to make these letters public, bad people will be in enormous trouble. They will wake up every single day with only one thought in their mind, wondering what kind of awful food their prison guard will bring them for dinner. Cool. Hey, Crinukh, buddy. How exactly did, you get wind of all this? The kobold shrugs indifferently. I just went hunting, shot a bird, and it turned out to be a messenger pigeon. What are the odds, eh? Yeah, that sounds plausible. And again, we did just have a whole extended conversation with someone about random chance and trusting our luck. And also cookies. Man, I miss those cookies. Thanks, I guess. We agreed that I would help you. I keep my word, as any civilized kobold should. Crinukh's speech falters under a bout of heavy coughing. After he catches his breath, the kobold's shoulders slump in exhaustion, and he sighs. Damn it all. Every disease I've ever caught is surfacing now. During my travels, I've spent many nights on bare, cold stone. I'm now feeling them all. Crinukh considers you. Trust me, any thought I share with you is not just rambling. It's knowledge paid for with my blood. It's hard-won from the caverns of the Darklands, where my tribe fled, fearing the wrath of devils. If you wish, I can tell you about that. You've certainly got my interest. Crinukh's voice becomes low and serious. Those were bloody days. We in the Night Ruby tribe were enslaved by the Drow, the elves of the underground. It's ironic. First we fell victim to the slaves' revenge. Then we ourselves fell into slavery. In the first battle with the Drow, we lost Ermac, our stern leader who refused to bow before devils or the Dark Elves. The rest thought it best to surrender. Our new life was harsh, and filled with suffering, humiliation, and punishment. Before long, we realized the Drow were tough masters who knew no mercy. But we hadn't grown accustomed to living life on our knees. We couldn't fight back with force, so we used our cunning. We spied and sabotaged. We killed the cruelest of the masters. We helped other slaves escape and thus built alliances. When we got caught, our kindred paid with blood. The Drow punished everyone, guilty and innocent alike. Back in those days, I was a scout and the right hand of our new leader. He was young, cautious, and shrewd. But our struggle lasted years, with many of our kin accepting their new fate and resigning themselves to being slaves. Others were tempted by devils who promised to give us back our former power. All they wanted was more signatures on the contract that doomed our souls to hell. As a result, the tribe splintered. The traitors gave our leader to the Dark Elves. Then came the Purge. But during that massacre, it was us, the kobolds, who killed most of our kin. I fled, wounded, without any weapons or supplies. All I managed to take with me was a case with that damned contract with the devils. After a long pause, Crinukh gives you a crooked smile. So that's the end of the story. Not quite the fall of the Aslanti Empire, I admit. But this one is even more dramatic, in its own way. You know, Crinukh, buddy, no offense, I like you and all, but you have to know how incredibly suspicious this all is, right? Here we go. I come in friendship, and right away I'm distrusted. So what is it that's got you worried this time? Well, I mean, last time around you told me a story of betrayal, and then like one day later one of my advisors betrayed me. The kobold waves off your comment. So, there was a spy amidst the top officers of the Crusade. What a surprise. You know what would have been really odd? If the demons hadn't sent an agent to kill you. And what if I told you the demons are going to try to kill you every time they see you? And that they're going to try to conquer Golarion? Are you going to suspect me of being in league with Baphomet and Discari now? Just for stating the obvious? Okay, sure, yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair, but, just to clarify, there are several people I've met who would in fact kill you for that. But fine, we will, leave it be. For now. Well, that's good. I was starting to worry. I could almost hear the noose swinging on the gallows already. Yeah, you said that last time. Hey, if you're having a hard time out here, there's plenty of room back in Drezen. Well, I'm not too enthusiastic about dwelling in densely populated locations. Places like that are usually crawling with those eager to bash in a little kobold's scaly skull. But I fully understand that you have enough important things to do besides constantly running to my camp and back. All right, search for me in Drezen next time. But I have to warn you, I'm not going to stay out in the open. Well, that is certainly fair. All right, buddy, I've got a few more things to take care of out here, but I guess I'll see you back in town. Good luck. I believe you'll need it. Yeah, don't even get me started on that. That's a whole big thing right now. Oh, by the way, you're going to have to walk back to Drezen. I dug up and took your Wand of Mass Dimension Door. What? Yep, see ya. Crinukh. I like him. I wonder what his deal is. There's clearly more to him than meets the eye, but given that we're barely halfway through the campaign, I imagine it'll be a while before we find out. Disclosing the letters obtained from Crinukh. The kobold Crinukh provided the commander with letters, implicating a number of prominent individuals in Nerosian in having connections with the demons. These people are plotting against the Crusade, impeding supply shipments and striving to discredit the commander. The disclosure of these letters will put an end to their conspiracy. Which, despite the suspicious source, would help us. I mean, obviously, Crinukh is manipulating us to some end, and this is clearly what he wants us to do, but we don't know if his ultimate goal is positive or negative for us. And given that this would provide us with tangible benefits, at least for the short term, I don't really see Vex refraining. Especially not if these people are, in fact, wronging him in some way. So with that out of the way, we are now back to adventuring. At least for a short while. I have been given a very general idea of where to look for Walljif. So we are headed west. And then, of course, as we travel, we'll also shuffle our main army around a little. Knock out a few more enemy encampments. Alright, we're not going to waste time on the ingredient node. It is tempting, but we're not really hurting for ingredients. I'll probably grab that stuff off screen at some point. For now, we are headed towards the Shrine of Sacrilege. Ooh, already getting fatigued. Okay. Dare we go further? Well, that's what I get. Okay, yeah, sure, why not? We're only fatigued. We're not exhausted. I think we can handle it. Oh, yeah, it's just ash giants. We were knocking these guys out back in Drezen.
Are we in trouble yet?
Yes?
Good enough. Let's do this. Nice, nice.
Retreat is not an option.
Thank you kindly. Ah, my molecular cohesion. But we are not yet done. We've got more lurking here somewhere. Let's hold for a sec, let the summons take point. Or not. Okay, fair enough. But we will continue holding. Wait for the enemies to come to us. There we go. More ash giants, as suspected. Also Ganondorf. Oh, okay. Well, we might be in trouble here. Did I say might? Scratch that. Turns out we're fine. Yeah, I guess we just keep shooting.
Out of my sight!
Ooh. A casual 60 damage on Zorm. That's like... yeah, that's over half his health. Let's wrap this up quick.
You are nothing before me.
Heals, please. Thank you, Darren. And we are good. Let's kick some ash. That was a nice warm-up. No loot to speak of, but a quick and easy 600 experience points. Onward, my friends. Okay, we need to get over there. No, wait, that's not going to work. We're on the wrong side of the chasm. So I guess we have to loop back towards the chapel? And here we go. Let's rest real quick. I'm sure they won't mind waiting. Oh, right. We still need to upgrade our brewing kit.
You waste too much effort on those who are unworthy.
How would I know who is worthy and who isn't? I just help whoever I can.
You tell him, Ember. Alright, let's do up some basic buffs real quick.
Missed me already.
Always be ready for the worst. Speak with your actions, not your words.
Alright, so what awaits us? Looks like a corpse. Also a cultist. I can still fight. Quick, tie him up! It's the Crusaders! The Crusaders are here! The Crescent of the Abyss must be informed! Really, guys? Was that necessary? It just seems petty to me.
Kneel before me.
I do like those helmets, though.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Holy moly. You alright, Zorm? You good? Yeah, he's fine. He's alive. Ish. Yeah, maybe we don't pull any punches on this one. Sorry. My bad. I'm still in fight or flight mode. Oh. That got pretty dicey.
I will resist.
transpire.
Wow, that was short but incredibly violent.
Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
Gotta love those triple damage crits. Oh my goodness, look at that. Well, short as it was, we got some really nice trade fodder out of this one. We also got a glimpse at what may have happened to one of our patrols. And that group that fled said something about the Crescent of the Abyss. Very ominous.
Trust in yourself.
Ah, of course. And those guys are long gone. They've already left the map. So we will just have to track them down. One sec. Let me just do a quick lap around the map to make sure we're not missing anything. And can't go down there, so I guess we're done. Oh, we've got new events. Commotion at the Citadel. Count Arende's prank has earned Irabeth's displeasure, so she has asked the commander for an audience. And Nevia would also like to talk about one of our companions, unspecified. Yeah, every day we're away from Drezen, the more this stuff piles up. I guess we'll skip the shrine for now. We'll hit it next time out. I think our priorities right now need to be clearing a path to Winter Sun and tracking down a certain tiefling. And we're back. You know what? I'm probably going to cut out that part, but suffice to say, we just got curb stomped. I did not realize that that army I was headed towards had a caster general. And as we've seen, spellcasting generals are pretty much the go-to move for the whole Crusade mode, and it goes both ways. 2 rounds in, he'd already wiped out like 2/3 of our army, so we'll just head the other way, I think. Knock out these guys over here, and maybe come back to that a bit later down the line. And yes, I guess this is technically save scumming, but look, it was either that or spend the next, 20 episodes rebuilding our army. I'm sure you understand. Yeah, there are some things that just don't scale well with the mass battle mode. Thus far, the devs have resisted nerfing the spells, I think. They've mostly just tried to compensate by buffing the other types of generals, but there's still no real comparison. Having buried those who died from the plague, warriors search the place and find a small grave where Sir Dalland Regilor, a hero of the Second Crusade, rests in peace. They take care of the grave and clean dead bodies and dirt from a small oasis nearby, and the water instantly becomes clean, clear, and sweet. This place is much loved by spirits and gods. Very nice. So we still pull an income increase, but without losing most of our army in the process. Yeah, and then this one looks to be another easy one as well. It's really the generals who make or break these battles. You'd really think a boulder crashing through a formation would do slightly more damage than that. And that clears the path to Wintersun, as well as giving us potential access to a few other easy targets here. Meanwhile, our main party is now going to bypass that shrine we saw, and instead we're setting our sights on the Temple of the Good Hunt. In theory, based on what I've been told, just getting in that area should trigger what we need. Oh, we actually made it. Okay. Well, I guess we will check this place out then. I mean, we're already here. Fancy. Alright, let's give this place a good once-over. Look at that. Someone left a perfectly good skeleton in front of this temple. So wasteful. Humble. That's what I like about Erastil. He seems like a really down-to-earth, modest kind of deity. Hey, Kyado. What's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. The young cleric of Erastil greets you with a shy smile. What an honor it is to see you again, Commander. Welcome to the Temple of Delamere the Blessed. As the temple's prior, I offer my greetings. At the word prior, the priest's face flushes pink. Hey, I know you, right? Rathimus's assistant? The kid with the stutter? They call me Kyado the Shepherd Boy. Well, that's what they used to call me, but it's not very fitting for a priest, is it? The cleric lapses into confused silence for a few moments. I come from a village near Lastwall. I've always been drawn to Erastil, even as a child. A cleric by the name of Jod once passed through our village. A kind old man. He looked me in the eye, a silly little kid, and he said, I see you're going to serve Erastil, just like myself. And so, I did. When I heard about your crusade, I set out to join it, just like my heart was telling me to do. Ah, Jod. Whatever happened to that guy? At first I served as a novice under the venerable Rathamus, but now he's gone and I've been left on my own. Rathamus and I marched on Drezen with your forces. We fought in your host. And then, when the demons were driven out, I came here. This temple is centuries old. Erastil's worshippers would have come here in their hundreds in the past. But even now, we get the odd pilgrim wandering in. That's why I wanted to take over this temple. Someone ought to take care of this sacred place. Oh yeah? I mean, I will admit, this place does look pretty impressive. Oh, where to begin? This temple is dedicated to Delamere. Oh, I mean, of course it is a temple of Erastil, but Delamere was the prior of this temple. I mean, no, I am the prior of this temple, and she is like its blessed Mother Superior, its patroness. The young man falls into a confused silence and looks pleadingly at you. Sure, well said, kid. You're doing great. So what's it like being a prior? Oh, it's terrifying. I live here alone, you see. People travel a great distance to come here. But I have been given an important task. Here in the World Wound, these temples are needed more than ever, so that people don't lose their faith. But that doesn't stop my legs shaking in terror. When I think of my teacher, Rathamus, rest his soul, I just feel like running away. I swear, I would have run long ago. But one thing keeps me here. Erastil would not have granted me these spells for no reason. I cannot let him down. Or the people. I can't let them down either. You say you're a coward, but you're in no hurry to leave this place, even though nobody's keeping you here. I know from experience how scary it is to be alone, surrounded by strangers. You're not as weak as you think you are. You're stronger than most. Yeah, you know what? Lan's right. Despite the overwhelming danger and the fact that your old mentor literally got chewed up by the forces of the World Wound, you're toughing it out. You're sticking around and trying to make it work. I respect that. Kyado smiles bashfully. Erastil is with me. If my faith is strong, his antlers will protect me from evil demons. He won't let them devour me. Yeah, sure. That is certainly something that might happen. So, tell me about Delamere. She lived in these parts back when Sarkarus was still standing. She was a priestess of Erastil, and the Kellids deeply respected her for her hard nature and unshakable faith. Erastil blessed her with various wonders, and the common folk knew that she would stand up for them. Delamere did not like city life. She said cities encouraged vile deeds and corruption of the soul. She said that people ought to live in small clans, where everyone knows everyone, where everyone is kin, and where every person has a duty to the rest. You can't hide your sins in a village. In a village, everyone knows what kind of person you are. She had a revelation, and she would travel around the villages and see how many people lived there. If any settlement had more than 53 souls, she drove out all the rest and told them to settle elsewhere, because otherwise the villages would have grown and turned into little towns. Her methods were harsh, of course, but people still listened to her, because Erastil himself was on her side. She had an edge to her. She single-handedly chased off whole bands of marauders that harassed villagers. And after she died, this temple was built in her honor, in the place where Erastil gifted her with his relics. They say it was here that a white stag emerged from the forest and spoke to her in a human voice, telling her that she should hunt it, because it was the will of her lord. Delamere tracked that stag for 3 days and 3 nights through the forests, and when she ran it to ground, she made its antlers into a bow and its hide into armor. And that bow never misses, and Erastil himself blessed that armor so that it repels the strikes of enemies. Well, gosh, that does sound useful. Okay, well, I think this whole village thing is silly. But at the same time, Vex is a hunter, so I guess he'd be at least somewhat sympathetic to the argument being made. Yeah, you know, I don't really get it, the whole village thing, but I respect her for committing to the bit. Well, even I think she was a hard woman. Can it truly be wrong for more than 53 people to live in one place? And if there are 54, does the moral decay and treachery begin immediately? Kyado catches himself and turns red. But that is my foolishness and ignorance talking. The wisdom of Erastil was revealed to Delamar, so she must have understood the unique mysteries underpinning the world. Sure, yeah, we'll go with that. Because mortals have certainly never misinterpreted the will of the gods. Erastil is an old god, back from the times when there were no such things as towns. Simple he is, and good, and he wants people to be the same. He wants them to live in small settlements where everyone knows each other. He wants them to value the simple joys of life, and not vacuous pondering. He wants people to earn their bread honestly, through hunting, crafts, farming, and fishing. He especially prizes hunting, of course, when it is for sustenance rather than sport. He is both stag and hunter. He favors both guises. Erastil does not like finery, and he demands no special ceremonies. He used to simply appear before hunters and rangers to offer his wisdom. But when he is angered, he is terrifying. If someone harms the country folk, takes pleasure in hurting animals, or spoils the crops, that person may well take an arrow from Erastil. And his bow knows no mercy. It is the father of all bows, for it was Erastil who taught people how to shoot. Well, that is quite a claim. Alright, I think that's everything I wanted to know. Thanks, Kyado, I appreciate it. It was my pleasure to be of service, Commander. Oh, hey, one more thing before I go. Have you seen anything weird around here? The cleric swallows nervously and lowers his gaze. No, everything's quiet around here. There's nothing going on in this temple, that's for sure. Pilgrims have said there's a dragon flying around this area, snatching up travelers, and others say that's just a rumor. Things are quiet here in the temple. Right, okay. That does sound convincing. I can't help but notice your stutter has come back in full force. Anyway, have you heard about my awesome new powers? Pretty great, right? Strange things. Very strange. You seem to play tricks again and again, but your tricks somehow become the truth. Your laughter carries more weight than the shouts and commands of other commanders. You're not waging war, you're playing. But at the same time, anyone who treats everything seriously finds themselves defenseless before you. Like a child. What are you, Commander? Our lucky talisman? Our impossible chance at victory? Our hope against despair? Or is the entire Crusade, this whole war, just one big joke to you? And when the time comes for the punchline, will you be laughing at the demons and at us? I don't really like to hem myself in with long-term planning like that, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's see what you got, buddy. I'll be glad to help, Commander. I have kept all of Rathamus's scrolls, and I've even managed to learn a few of his tricks. I study languages so that I can read foreign scrolls. Rathamus used to call me a polyglutton. I never met a foreign language I didn't want to sink my teeth into. The young man seems to preen slightly. Well, that's a fun detail. That does explain a few things. Let's have a quick peek at the highlights here. Oh my, Ring of Pyromania. Well, that is beyond our reach right now, but we definitely want to grab that when we can. That's a perfect fit for Ember. Interesting, but less useful. Ashwood staff's not bad. Oh, Bookworm's headband. Yeah, that's another item on our must-have list. It's not great for an animal companion that's reliant on intimidation, but for most, like Kaz and Law, complete immunity to compulsion is well worth those side effects. Plus, we've got level 4 brewing and level 7 scribing kits. So yeah, plenty of stuff here for us. We'll have to come back with like, I don't know, like 120,000 gold. So, you know, it might be a while. Let's have a quick look around. See what's got Kyado so nervous. We spotted something. I assume the hand marker on the statue there. And a trap. That seems like an odd thing to have in a Temple of Erastil. Or maybe not. I mean, he is the god of hunters. Hunters do use traps. Yeah, plus this does look to be Kyado's makeshift quarters. Given how nervous and paranoid he is, it makes sense he'd want to put up some security, which we have now disabled. Ultimate Predator. These knee pads grant their wearer a +2 insight bonus on attack and damage rolls made with natural weapons, but only against animals, magical beasts, and monstrous humanoids. Well, we will give that right to Zorm. Oh, wait, I equipped something else. Oh, the Righteous Exorcist Bracers. Sure, why not? That actually does work on him. There's one of those new first aid kits. Yeah, they just added those with the latest DLC. Those are now required for the Treat Affliction ability. Oh, a note about Finnean. Interesting. Kyado, why do you have this under your bed? Specimen 367, Finnean Dismar. Test Report 1. Master, the first stage of the testing process was a success. Specimen 367, Finnean Dismar, turned into a sword on command. The sword possesses sufficient sharpness and the ability to adjust the wielder's strike. It beheaded a crusader with a single blow. A clean cut, the blade is undamaged. Additional notes. The specimen makes unwanted noises resembling weeping. No reaction to threats. Well, that's not great. Finnean, you have anything to say about this? Want to chat? I'm always up for a chinwag. Yeah, hey, Finnean, did you overhear me reading that note just now? According to this, cultists used you to, chop some dude's head off? What? You must have the wrong guy. I've never been friends with cultists. I would have remembered something like that. Maybe they caught some other Pathfinder and bent him to their will. Not me. I would have remembered. I wouldn't lie to you. I would have remembered. Right. Gosh, it must have been one of the thousands of other Finnean Dismars. My mistake. Sorry about that, buddy. We'll just leave it be for now. Yeah, that's just a full-blown meltdown waiting to happen. You know what? Let's go ahead and poke at the statue. The young cleric lets out a loud scream and addresses you in a quavering voice. I beg you, please, don't touch that door. Yeah, sure, no problem, buddy. You won't mind if I ask a few questions about the door, though, right? Kyado's face goes gray, and he falters and stutters over his words. What door? Oh, that door. Well, that leads into the cellar. There's nothing interesting beyond that door. Sweat breaks out on the cleric's forehead as he looks at you with pleading eyes. Kyado, buddy, we're friends. Which is why it would break my heart if I had to gut you because you keep lying to me. You maybe want to try running that by me again, for both our sakes? Kyado looks to be on the verge of tears. It's all Zenedra. She's a witch. She came here one night, threatened to torture me, and demanded that I let her into the crypt. She said that her friends would be coming here sometimes, and then she placed a curse on me. If I allow anyone other than initiated servants of Baphomet into the crypt without her permission, a brood of rats will appear on my stomach, and they will gnaw me from the inside out. But I want to live. I'm no warrior. I'm a humble shepherd, and I never said a word to anyone. They go in there and do things. They whisper. I'm afraid to go in. And you can't go in. There's no one in there now anyway. Zenedra hasn't been here for many days. And Erastil willing. She won't come again. The cursed witch. Okay. Well, we have no other option aside from pressing it. And I'd rather not do that just yet. So we will back off for now, but we will keep an eye out for this Zenedra. Let's see if we can find anything else here that might help with this. Elven notes for the storyteller. Interesting, but not what we're looking for. Oh. +4 belt of dexterity. Yes, please. Also, not what we were looking for, but I will happily take that. Well, we did find some really nice stuff, but nothing particularly relevant to Kyado or Zenedra. I guess that's more of a long-term thing. We'll figure it out eventually, I'm sure. And in the meantime, it did net us a couple of really nice upgrades. Ah, right. I've got the Hunter bonus on Kaz's dex, but I could switch that to something else. That's either going to Kaz or to Regil. I'm not sure which. I'll mull on it off screen, but feel free to throw your 2 cents in as well if you'd like. Anyway, we will hit the pause button for now. I might do some light trading with Kyado just to see if I can grab one of those items from him. And we will pick up here next time, as we take one last stab at tracking down our errant arcane scoundrel. But then we have to head back to Drezen. We've got like a dozen events in the queue at this point. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.
You waste too much effort on those who are unworthy.